my job, I get it done, but you should know that. Shine like a sun of 101, you should know that. I get the front and in the back, you should know that. No need to stun, it's never cap, you should know that. All I know, 10 toes, never fold, bang roll, on the go, ice wall, ice wall, ice wall. Yeah, whoa. Ballin' like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin' like it's game time.
Yeah!
I put in work, couldn't wait for mine. I got 9, couldn't wait in line. Game time, game time. Locked in when it's game time. Shoot from deep like a Curry 3, and I go.
Let's ride.
23, 10 toes down to the concrete, and I do Mickey myself for my peace.
You would have thought Dallas won their game. Who would have thought?
Let's ride.
Still remember days when I spent a penny pinch. Now this bank account is lit, and it's
Welcome to the show.
Same faces around me, and it's hardly first. Saying how you doing,
It's
but
game
you
time, baby.
Fibbing on the ground, yeah, you probably
What's going on? What's the NFL special? There's people already popping in.
Game time.
It's game time, baby. We're the NFL special. We're going to be starting the NFL special every Sunday evening. And our regular shows are moving to Mondays. So right now it's game time, baby. Where to start? Where do we start, Canteen? Do we want to start in the beginning? Do we want to start? Hey, I haven't seen Omar, but we do have a special guest. I haven't seen Omar, but we have a special guest filling in for him. So give it up for the Broncos fan. It's the Broncos fan. How you doing, sir? Are you crying?
Why? I'm so sad. Sean Payton was supposed to...
The Broncos fans here. How are you feeling, Mr. Broncos fan? You doing okay? What in the world?
Omar, take that off your head. Take it off.
Yeah. Say.
Raiders still play today, and I feel a loss coming.
Oh,
it's Omar. Oh, it's Omar. I thought it was a Broncos fan. I thought it was a random Broncos fan. Omar is here. What's up, Omar? Welcome to the show. It's the NFL special, bottom line special. The bottom line NFL special. We're going to wrap up all the games, even the ones that we are all lost. Well, you haven't lost yet, but you're going to lose anyway, Omar.
Oh, man.
Just kidding. I don't know. You might win. You can pull it off. We'll see. You got your
You
mic
ain't
on?
getting away from this one.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you want to start? You want to start there?
Away from this one, hot take Jake. Oh, no, brother.
Did you see my bag?
Oh, no. Hey, with this one.
Did you see my
Woo! Woo!
What's hilarious
Look,
by
my
the end
Broncos.
of today's day,
My sad Broncos have back on.
Let's ride. Let's ride.
by the end of today, all three teams are going to have an L. I don't understand what's going on here.
But you lost royally. Like, it wasn't even close. Let's talk about that game because that's what we all want to talk about. So, I mean, right? Isn't that what we all want to talk about right now? Except for maybe Jake, but
I mean, who's not talking about that? That was an embarrassment.
oh my God.
Canteen, you was narrating the
The
whole
worst
time,
loss in
baby.
NFL history,
That
right?
was an embarrassment.
Man, listen.
Talk
When
about
it went
it.
at like 35 points, I stopped watching it. And then they start attacking more and more. And I'm like,
Oh, man. What's really going on, man?
We have the Bears next week.
Okay.
I feel
Bounce
very
back.
confident.
if y'all lose to the Bears, bro,
Hey, bounce back week.
if y'all lose, now the Bears get slaughtered by Kansas City. If y'all lose to the Bears, just let it go, bro. I'm telling you, just wash your hands and the season be alive.
I just want to say this. I warned everybody. I warned everybody how
You
good
warned?
that Dolphins team was.
Warned us of what?
That
Oh,
they're
my
good.
God.
I
he
told
picked
you
them-
that's the best
he
team
said
in
they're
the
gonna be the
NFL, and I
number
got
one
laughed
seed.
at.
I didn't know we laughed at
You
when
also
said-
picked the Broncos to win 13 games.
Yeah, you also picked them to play these same Dolphins in the AFC Championship. Is that still happening?
I think
And
two things have to happen.
the AFC Championship, too.
I
didn't say
think
that.
two
That's
things
what
have
I
to
said.
happen. Fire Vance Joseph.
Hey, Mel. But Marcus
and I
had some
think
mini
Ro- Yeah,
mini
stop,
point,
Mel.
so many
Stop
point
it,
form.
Mel.
It should count as 3 losses.
So do
It
you
should count as 3
believe,
losses.
do you believe that
Hey,
Jared
Flo.
Oh, man.
is a better option at this point?
That's what I was gonna
No
say.
way.
Okay, is Jared
No.
Stidham going to be put in now?
I would bench Russ and I would fire
Really?
Vance Joseph.
Wow.
Sean Payton should not be happy
Really?
right now. Neither am I.
I mean, but
Sean
he
Payton
didn't
shouldn't
look
be
bad.
happy. Sean
He
Payton
had
should be happy.
306 yards,
The Wolves
306
shouldn't be happy
yards.
with Sean Payton.
1 touchdown, 1. I mean, can you really blame it on Russ? Did he play that bad?
Absolutely. The thing is we're paying that man $55 million to go toe to toe with these top quarterbacks and these top offenses. You
I
gotta
mean,
do
other
it.
than
What
the
else,
touchdowns,
Flo, what I'm
he
saying,
mirrored.
Jake, what else do you guys got besides Russell Wilson? What supporting cast do you guys got to put up
Right.
numbers and to be a contender to
That-
win
that-
games,
that-
bro?
That same defensive roster was a top 5 defense last year. What changed? The defensive coordinator.
When do you start
Okay.
blaming the coach? When do you start blaming the head coach?
I can't
The
blame
head coach
Sean
is
Payton
supposed
in
to
year
lead the
1 when
team.
these are not his players. These are not his players,
Come on now.
Omar.
Come on
We
now.
cannot
Come
blame
on
him
now.
year 1.
Can't blame him year 1.
These
Yeah,
are
you
not
can.
his players,
Yeah, you can.
Omar.
Dog.
He
if
hasn't
I
even gotten a
sent
fair
you out,
draft.
no,
Omar.
listen to me. If I sent you out with the little Giants and
The whole state lost this week.
Icebox and the little Giants would win or would not lose by 50 at least, 70-20, Jake, 70-20. Sean Payton should be embarrassed. You know who he should be renamed? He should be renamed, I am not the glove Gary Payton. I am a plastic bag Sean Payton with holes all inside of it. That's what it should be.
Dang.
How much,
What
Canteen?
deal, boy?
How much should we put on the coach, Canteen, at this point?
Man, they brought Sean Payton in to restructure the organization. They thought because of his name, his brand, and what he brought to the table with the New Orleans Saints was good enough. That's not good. They don't have talent.
Right.
They don't have talent, bro. They ain't got no talent. The talent, they have no talent in Denver. And if y'all lose to the Bears next week, Jake, just resign. Just resign from coming on the show. If y'all lose to the Bears.
To be fair, they did have some
Cardinals. Hold on.
They had some injuries on offense too. They did have some injuries to their skill players.
What I'm going to say is this: the defense was a top. Answer me this, guys. We were a top 5 defense last year. We turned into a bottom 5 defense in 1 year. Come on.
Well,
you put
all I know
together.
is that Patrick Surtain has been hyped up, and rightfully so, as one of the best cornerbacks in the league. But your secondary this year, including Surtain, has been burnt time after time after time, and Tyreek Hill did it again to him today.
Yeah.
They do a lot of motion snapping.
10 touchdowns. 10 touchdowns.
They did a lot of motion snapping. They did a different types of motion snapping. You have to understand. Hey guys,
come on, man.
I would understand if I said the Dolphins weren't the best team in the NFL. I've told y'all this.
But you know what though?
So, but according to your predictions, the Denver Broncos
are y'all gonna win 13 games, beat the AFC Championship.
No. Before the very last game, before the preseason ended, I said we turned into a wild card team because of our injuries.
No.
He did.
I flipped me and the Chiefs.
He put 12 games.
Oh, you said wild card.
He still said 12 games. It don't matter.
He still said 12 games.
Look.
Are you still winning 12 games?
That's up to Sean Payton to tell them and tell his owners. First off, there's 3 people need to be fired immediately. Vance Joseph, George Patton, our GM, and Russell Wilson. I'm not putting any of this on Sean Payton. He didn't have a fair draft. He comes. You can't fire Russell Wilson. Or second round pick. He's got. It's terrible. I feel so bad for Sean right now. I feel so bad for Sean.
And what did I tell you, Jake? I told you this when you got Russell. I said he might be washed. The Seattle might know something, and you don't know. And you were Super Bowl goals with your Super Bowl goals, and I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you
something. It's the same way I feel whenever I talk to you about Dak. I think it's mutual. I think the feeling's very mutual.
He's not washed.
Hey,
he's not washed he's not washed like this guy. Yeah, he's not even seeing stuff. Russ is like missing open receivers. He's not even seeing.
I agree, but don't tell me that. Not like Dak. Dak just lost to a bad team.
I don't believe in quarterback wins. First of all, I don't believe in quarterback wins. Quarterback wins is not a real stat. Quarterbacks are important.
You're on mute, Omar. You're on mute whenever you're talking.
Can y'all hear me?
Now we can.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. All right. Now, listen here. First of all.
That's good. That's true. That's true, Mark.
I'm sorry. I don't feel bad for Sean Payton either, Mar. Shout out my boy, Wildcard Mar, IOW Sports.
Wildcard Mar, shout out.
I don't feel bad for Sean Payton.
You want to jump in here, Mar? You let me know.
Yeah.
We've hit rock bottom.
No. Listen, if you lose by 50 points, you have a coaching problem as well. Okay? I'm sick and tired of you defending Sean Payton. Like
let's go.
Like Canteen said, like you're just banking off his name and the one title he won with Drew Brees with the Saints. That don't make him a great player.
Drew Brees got hurt today.
Coach. And now he's got people out here dirty hitting people still, even after they had that whole, whatever that bounty gate or whatever that was back in the day. No, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of your Broncos. I'm tired of Sean Payton. I'm tired of Russell Burnt Steak Wilson. I'm tired of your whole agenda. And you know what's funny is that Mike McDaniel, who, by the way, AKA is a very, very good friend of Nathaniel Hackett, did not take kindly to Sean Payton talking that BS, and Mike McDaniel decided to run it up on y'all boys because of that. So you can thank Sean Payton and his big trash mouth for getting 50 burger over you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't know
what you got to say, Jake?
I don't understand why he's blaming Sean Payton when this is not Sean Payton's roster. This is not Sean Payton's roster. He didn't have
It
spares.
matter, man.
A good coach doesn't need his own roster. This ain't the college. This ain't college, man. Okay?
What?
This ain't college. A good coach doesn't need his own roster. This is the NFL. You play with the roster you're given.
This is true, but you do need to kind of build your roster.
You have to build some type of roster.
But Flo, I mean, you got to look at this. This is the NFL. You can't go in and say you're gonna. You can't do what Deion Sanders did. You can't revamp an entire roster.
There's no
and do all that
transfer
stuff.
portal. Yeah, there's no transfer portal.
You got to be able to work with what you got and use what you got and build around that. So everybody thought that Sean Payton was going to be the savior, but he's not the savior. He's not the savior. Your new management, people that bought into the ownership, that's not the savior. The Broncos are a trash organization. They need to start from scratch and start all over.
Can I respond to that?
To that one?
You just said, that Sean Payton came in here and was made to pump us up. Sean Payton even knew before the season, that's why he signed Jared Stidham, a backup quarterback, for $30 million for the next 2 years. You know why? Because he didn't even know to believe in Russ yet. I had to talk to Sean about that. And Sean told me. He said it.
Sean told you? He called you up?
This guy yet. He has to prove to me. That's what's going on.
Okay.
So now he's figuring out what he's going to do. The only thing that I can blame Sean on is hiring Vance Joseph, because the Cardinals' defense was horrible last year. I don't know what he saw on film to say, yeah, Vance Joseph can take this Denver defense and make them as good as what they were last year. It's terrible. That's the only thing I'll blame Sean on. But right now, this is not Sean's year. This is Russ's year, that he is on the clock. He's got to show himself.
Yep.
Come on, man.
So Sean Payton is on the clock too?
No, he is not.
Okay.
We have him for a 5-year deal, and he will change it up.
Hey, if Sean Payton is to go 0-16, he is getting fired immediately.
He gone.
Immediately.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes 0-16, I don't think he's going 0-16, but
y'all might win a whole game.
So Jacob, let's move on. Let's move on to another game real quick. But before we wrap it up,
looking good.
Before we wrap it up, Jake, do you think that, not what you want, but do you think that Russ is going to get benched next game, or he's got one more game?
I would have benched him mid-game already here, and I would have tried Jared Stidham.
Okay, so you're saying start Jared Stidham next game.
I don't think they're going to bench him for next game, and they're going to try and put confidence up. He's going to do what he does. They should beat the Bears. Should. If they do not beat the Bears and they get hung a lot of points on them, Vance Joseph will not be allowed back on that plane. I will call it here. You heard it here first.
Oh, there you go there. There you go there.
Heard it here first. Hey, y'all drop a like, a comment, and all that good stuff. Share and all that good stuff. This is the bottom line. This is the NFL special wrap-up. We're going to have it every Sunday.
I still believe in Sean.
Okay.
Look,
that's
Jake,
that's fair. That's fair.
Hey, Jake, this is your Broncos.
Hey, Omar, you won the battle today, bro. Sean will win the war. Sean will win the war.
Look, it even has your name on it. Jake Montoya, right beneath those buck teeth, just like the Broncos.
That's right.
Bucking up. Let's ride, Broncos country. Let's ride.
This is Jared Stidham. Jack, really? I'm thinking,
man, they said Drake Mayo may go to Denver, man. Drake Mayo to Denver, man.
Drake Mayo.
No.
Okay.
I will talk about draft picks if we lose to Chicago. Then I will really be worried.
Hey, I'm gonna mail this to you, Jake. For the rest of the season.
You should put it for yourselves. The Cowboys didn't look so good today.
We'll talk about that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that point.
We're gonna get to it. Hey, you want to go to the Cowboys now, or go to another game? We can go to another game or whatever. Don't matter to me. What happened to? All right, so we'll look at the Cowboys in a minute. Chargers, Vikings. That was a close game. What do you think there? I was thinking the Vikings might pull this out. I think we all picked the Vikings because we kind of gave up on the Chargers. But the Chargers pulled it out. It was a close game. They were down by the goal line and couldn't punch it in late in the game for the Vikings. And had a pretty good game. I don't know. What do you think, Kenty? What happened here?
Man, Herbert showed up, man. 40 for 47, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Right.
Cousins looked kind of sketchy. He was 32 with 53 on 67 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception.
That's pretty good though. That's a solid line.
That's solid, man. I think the better of two teams won, and I think that man, the Chargers were hungry, bro. The Chargers knew they had to win, and Staley's job on the line. I think
he really was.
His job was on the line, man.
Yeah, I mean,
and
for real.
I think he performed well. I'm still question marks behind your boy doing the offensive coordinator calling the plays and stuff, man. I'm not a fan of him calling the plays, but I think Herbert looked good and Keenan Allen. I mean, overall, the Chargers look pretty dominant, man. So I think this was a great win for them.
Still,
that puts a big question mark.
What's up, man?
By the Minnesota Vikings, bro. They're 0-3.
Yeah, yeah.
They're 0-3.
So,
and I think every team in the division won a game.
Are you gonna say the Vikings are done? Are they done? They toast? Are they cooked?
It's hard to say right now, bro.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Everybody in their division, everybody but the Bears won a game. So it's them and the Bears are in the same boat, but I think they're much better than the Bears.
Yeah. So what do you think about this game, Jake? We all were kind of like writing off the Chargers, really.
Look, Brandon Staley saved his bacon one more week. That's fine.
One more week.
But I will say, hold on, I'm going to take this to a different point. I don't like how, and I wasn't a fan of Kellen Moore at the beginning of the season, but I don't know why we're talking bad about this guy. His team has hung 30-plus points each game. It's the defense that's not holding back. He keeps scoring the ball.
Kellen Moore, here's the thing. Kellen Moore is going to give you numbers. He'll always give you numbers, but he's situationally. He didn't hang 30 on New Orleans.
What do you mean he didn't hang 30 on New Orleans?
Did he?
He had the. He didn't play New Orleans.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. But anyway, yeah, Kellen Moore will give you numbers. He'll give you numbers. But situationally, he's bad. He's bad situationally. He'll run the ball when you should be throwing it. He'll throw it when you should be running it. I mean,
I think y'all have a hate on that man because he came from Dallas and now he left.
I don't care. No, I don't care. I mean, he's all right. He's okay. I mean, he'll give you numbers, but situationally, he's bad. He when you should stay with the run, he'll go away from the run. You should be passing it. You know, he just situational football. He's just bad. That's Kellen's problem. He'll always get you numbers though. I mean, if that's all you want is numbers, you'll get it.
My biggest thing.
If they had any semblance of a defense, it would be good.
There's no reason you should be losing. That defense is terrible, and that's Brandon Staley. Go ahead, Omar. What you think?
What you think about this game? Chargers, Vikings.
Yeah, gentlemen, can you hear me all right now?
Yeah.
Awesome. The same way that I wondered to myself earlier when I was watching the Broncos get absolutely eviscerated by the Dolphins, I was thinking to myself, how can a professional coach allow 70 points? This isn't even college. What is this? Is this the NCAA? Is this Madden?
Big 12?
In the same way, I cannot believe that Brandon Staley is still a coach in the NFL. He is just as bad, if not worse, than Nathaniel Hackett and Josh McDaniels. They're all in the same boat of horrible AFC West coach. First of all, they should have lost that game. Why he decided to go for it on that fourth down and 24 or some ridiculousness, and almost lost the game and got bailed out because the Chiefs gave it up in the last minute when Kirk Cousins should have just fired that ball in there and completed that pass, although Jay Jettas was injured and off to the sideline. The Chargers gave that game away, as they give every single game away. They almost gave that one away as well. Brandon Staley's a horrible coach. The Chargers are a horrible team. I don't care if they did win. They should have been 0-3. They will be, all of them. Raiders included. I throw the Raiders in there. All three of those teams are going to be trashed this year.
So are you saying that the Vikings are cooked? They're done? Their season's over?
Oh,
Can they still?
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
the Vikings are done.
Let's think about this. The Vikings last year won 12 games. But if you looked at the underlying statistics, the Vikings won. I think they were 9-1 in one-score games. So they were very. And when that happens, when you win a lot of close games, that's not indicative of a good team. That's indicative of luck. When the Raiders won a bunch of close score games a couple of years ago and had 12 wins, and everybody thought they were really good, that was a fluke. The next year they went, whatever it was, 4-6 wins. So the thing is that if you are winning close games, that's not indicative of a good team or a good coach. That might be a problem.
Right. Okay. So let's look at let's any final comments on this game? We move on to another game.
Yeah.
Who said Staley's a great coach?
Staley.
Who just said that? Who just said that?
I'm just saying to keep the comments going. People that
He's typing in the comments.
I'm just typing in the comments to keep the madness going. I know he's horrible. He pissed poor.
Yeah.
But to keep the fans entertained.
Okay.
Canteen, do you believe he should be fired?
Maybe it's Cook, Packers, Lions are better.
Nah, man. Give him like 3-4 more weeks. Give him a few more weeks.
For the Vikings?
If they don't make the playoffs, he's gonna be gone. Tarnished.
Oh, and him too. The Vikings too. Him too. Kevin, whatever his name is. Kevin, what's his face? He needs to be fired too. Because the Vikings are the biggest underachievers in the whole NFL.
We'll see. Okay, let us know what you think in the comments. We're doing the NFL wrap-up show. This is a special show on Sundays. We're going to do all NFL, nothing but NFL games, wrapping games up. So a couple of upsets that came up, guys. The Indianapolis Colts beat the Ravens in overtime, 22-19. Gardner Minshew comes in to replace Anthony, what's his name? Richardson. Who had a concussion protocol. He'll be back, but Gardner Minshew, he's one of those guys. He's kind of like Fitzmagic. He'll come in and give you a couple good games.
Do the thing,
and fill in for you. He's a great backup to fill in. Talk about this game. I mean, how did Baltimore lose to Gardner Minshew and the Colts? You want to go first, Jake?
Yeah, what I saw from it is exactly what I was the Ravens. I've never trusted Lamar. He can't get the job done when it's needed. He's very inconsistent, and it's going on once again. Injuries are going to hurt this team, I hate to say it. And the second part is Lamar is not clutch. I'm going to keep saying this. Not clutch. He loses they are the Cowboys of the AFC. They look good at times. They'll beat great teams supposedly at a crazy time. They might beat the Chiefs. You might see it this year. But they'll lose to these bum teams, and you're just so shocked by it. The Cowboys of the AFC, man.
Okay. All right. What you got, Omar?
Another horrible take by Jake there. Nothing less expected. This
Cowboys to win it all this year.
Well,
you'll keep the Chiefs. The Chiefs look good today. They look good today. Wild card. What do you think? You still going on, Omar?
Anyways, my bad.
Go ahead.
Yeah. What game were you on now? My bad.
The Colts and the Ravens. How the Ravens got upset.
I'm still thinking about the Broncos kid.
It's hard to get that one out of your mind. It's such a bad loss.
I can't get away.
I was like, I thought it was a typo when I was looking at the score and I looked back. I was like 70. Is that real? I was like, that can't be real, right?
Nah, it was definitely real. Gardner Minshew, as you mentioned, good backup quarterback. Come in, make things happen when it needs to, right? Nothing more, nothing less. They need Anthony Richardson back as a rookie to be playing, to be trying to take that team.
And he looked good while he was in there.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman is a star receiver, especially for those of you that play fantasy out there. Michael Pittman, you should have him on your roster. That being said, Zach Moss is not the answer at running back. They desperately need Jonathan Taylor back. They may not want to admit it, but they're going to have to reinstate him and either give him a new contract or trade him because they need him. Zach Moss is not going to be able to do it for them. That being said, the Colts are a okay young team. This was a really good upset for them. I don't see this as a downplay on Lamar or the Ravens. I think the Ravens and Lamar will still be great. I think they're obviously a championship contender and a definite playoff team, even with this loss. Losses happen in the NFL. It was a close loss. They should have won. A couple passes here. The Ravens' running game is horrible. I'm sorry. Yeah. Melvin Gordon's all right, but if he's your starter, that's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem.
Dude,
what do you got? What do you got, Ken? What do you got, Ken?
Thank God for a guy like Matt Gay. Thank God for a kicker like Matt Gay that went 5 for 5, 53 yards in the clutch in overtime and win you a football game. That's what you need. Both teams are, to me, subpar. I agree with Omar about Pittman, but both teams that run games is trash. The quarterbacks are washed up. Lamar Jackson is not the answer, man. And once we move on, like I said, the games that you expect teams to win, they don't win. And the games that they do win, you don't expect them to win those games. And that's how I feel about Dallas. How the hell we marching to Arizona? Let's go to Dallas next, man. Let's go to Dallas next, man.
Okay. All right, you ready? All right, let's talk about another. That's another upset. There's a lot of upsets today in the NFL. So let's go to the next one. My Cowboys, or me and Canteen's Cowboys, losing to the Cardinals. I didn't feel good about this game going in, to be honest. I tried to play it up, but I didn't. I just felt it was a trap game. We lost Diggs. I just felt like, it's just one of those games where everybody was picking the Cowboys, and anytime everybody picks something, it's usually not a good thing. It usually goes the opposite way, or there's some problems. But what do you got? Let's let Jake go first, because he's like dying to go about this game. Go ahead, Jake. He's smiling. He got that little smile on his face.
So optimistic, so happy. You started naming backup corners that y'all just were like, man, we're deep at corner. We're just great. In the end, man, I told y'all this and I warned y'all. And I didn't know the Cardinals were going to do. I'll say this. I told you, teams are going to make Dak win the game. And that's exactly what they did. They took a lead. They got the Cowboys tight. And now you needed Dak to throw the ball. And when you make Dak throw the ball, exactly what happens. He threw a pick in the end zone when it matters most. That is exactly what's going to happen all season long with the Cowboys. Cowboys, good luck. Good job, bro. You will be beating the bad teams. But you will lose once again to the good teams. Sad day, bro. Sad day.
That didn't make sense because we just lost to a bad team. But anyway.
Lost to a bad
all right.
team, yeah.
So that didn't make sense.
But when it comes matters most, because what the Cardinals did is exactly what they said they were going to do. They're going to make Dak the literally blueprint what I told y'all.
No, what happened?
Make Dak win the game. Make Dak win the game. He can't do it.
All right. What do you got, Omar?
I do partly agree with Jake, actually. They put it on Dak to win this game, and Dak did not do that. Dak did not make the correct throws that need to be made. But at the same time, the Cowboys' running game is trash. Sorry, Tony Pollard's just not back from his injury, and they need to be better at running the ball. Also, they need to have better receivers. CeeDee Lamb can't do everything. And Dak Prescott is just average at best, as we know. Throwing another interception in the end zone, throwing an incompletion in the end zone. I still think they're a championship team. I still think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I still think they're a really, really good team. I do agree with Flo. I think this was a trap game. I think they just looked ahead of the Cardinals for the Cardinals being so bad, and I think that they lost it. That being said, that does not excuse any of the things that went wrong today. And if they don't fix that, they will not be winning any championship.
Okay. What you got, Cam? You said you want to
get hear this.
Hey, man, I mean, we look at the numbers, man. We look at, man, I just want to go through some of the numbers really, really quick, man. Prescott, 25 for 40, 49 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Pollard, 23 carries, 122 yards. Man, what else? Gallup, 6 receptions, 92 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 4 receptions, 53 yards. Our offense wasn't consistent today, man. Me and you hyped them up yesterday, man. I thought they were going to go in here and destroy him. I had high hopes for Prescott to really, really show up this game and really do his thing.
Right.
But as I stated, man, the games that we should win, we don't win, man. And it looked like the Cowboys were cowboying today, man. But you know what they usually do and they falter and do stupid stuff, man. I can't blame McCarthy. I can't blame Dak Prescott. I blame the whole team as a whole, man. We went in now with our heads on our shoulders like we should have went in when we went to Arizona. That should have been a complete blowout. We should have beat them to sleep, but we let a Josh Dobbs, rookie, whatever, his first start,
He's
come
a
in and
journeyman.
kind of. Yeah, I mean he ain't no star, man. Nobody knows.
He's a journeyman, yeah.
And another thing is
But
the Cowboys need to starting out so slow. That's another thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
We started out, I mean, they were up like 15-3 or something like on us at one point. So I think this was a game to check us. But I want to see New England next week. Page rolling the town next week, so I think we'll be able to bounce back. But they won today too, so a lot to regroup from.
And you know what's crazy about it is I watched the whole game, and I didn't even realize that Pollard had 122 yards. That's how bad the running game looked. Like, it was just looking like y'all were getting nowhere with your running game. So.
I don't know. I disagree, Omar. I think our running man game looked okay. I just think we didn't use it enough early. I think that we went away from it early because we got down by 2 scores, 99 or whatever. We got down early and we started throwing it too much. You know, basically that's what Kellen Moore used to do. So that's why I used to fault Kellen Moore, is that he would start throwing it. You get down 10 points, whatever, and you start throwing it all over the yard when you just establish your run game. We got the run game going, but we should have got it going early and not worried about trying to throw it all over the place. I didn't like Dak throwing it. You know, early in the game, he was throwing it way too much. We should have been a little more balanced. And that's what we're going to have to see if that's just an anomaly this game. They got a little panic, and McCarthy just started throwing it. I don't know what happened, but at the same time, we haven't really seen this offense. So this is the first time the offense has had to really go out there and perform. The defense dominated the last 2 games. The offense hadn't had to do too much. So this is good for the offense that they get to go out there and learn from their mistakes. And I think overall, Gallup looked pretty good. He had 92 yards. He had 7 catches. CeeDee Lamb looked pretty good. Ferguson started getting into the game a little more. I'm a little disappointed with Cooks. I thought Cooks would be a little more of a help. I like what Lukey did as a fullback. I wish they would involve him a little more. He only had the 1 catch and then the one run, but I think he could
be 9 yards. Yeah, Luke. Yeah,
down in the goal line, and I think they should use him a little bit more. Kind of like a tight end, you know, like the old school fullback. But he's pretty valuable. He's got good hands. He's got good instincts, and maybe they'll start to involve him a little more. But this is one of those games where I think it's almost like the first game of the season for the offense, because they really haven't had to play all year yet. They had it easy for the first 2 games because of how the defense finally, they gave up way too many yards, 400 yards, 178, 222 on the ground. And that's bad. We were getting gashed on the ground. That's not good. So we'll have to see. Short up. It's a game you learn from. You go back. If the next game we look the same, that'll be that. Then I'll be a little bit concerned. If the next game we look like this, then I'll be concerned. Right now, I think it's one of those things where the offense has to kind of gel a little more. They haven't really had time to gel because they haven't had to play much. You know, the defense dominated for 2 games. So that's how I feel about it. Any final thoughts on this game? The Cowboys and the Cardinals. Unfortunately, we lost.
Omar, your mic's muted.
All right.
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. You know what else is funny and also kind of confusing about this game is that the Cowboys will be fine. Mm-hmm. It's the Broncos that everybody has to worry about.
We lost to the best team. What are we talking about?
You got destroyed by the best team. It's not losing. That's like, and I agree with Mel. That should count as like 2 losses.
You know what's crazy to me?
Count as 2 losses.
You just said, Flo. You literally said, I wouldn't be worried unless this continually happens.
Right.
Does the opponent not matter? What happened? That's the Cardinals.
What's wrong with the
Cardinals? You lost by 50.
What do you mean?
Lost by 50. You should never lose by 50 in the NFL. There is no reason you should lose by 50 to anyone.
Never.
At the end of the column, is it's an L for both of our teams, right?
Right. But look at it this way. Look,
The Cardinals, I don't understand.
They played the Giants.
I'll be remembering it was a 50 burger. I'll tell you that much.
The Cardinals played the Giants tight. They were winning that game, and the Giants are still considered a game.
But y'all blew out the Giants, 40-0.
I know. But what I'm saying is the Giants are still considered a playoff game.
All right, Cheeto, you need to change your names.
Shout out, Carrie. Shout out our girl, Carrie.
Carrie.
And then also the Cardinals
Jake, right?
lost the close game to Washington, who everyone was talking about their potential playoff team now.
No, you were talking about them being a potential playoff team. Yeah,
Jake
you were the one
that
hyping Washington up.
Jake, the one that was hyping him up.
I hyped up Sam Howell, and
he did.
He looked good.
Yeah, you did hype him up. But anyway, I said they would be better.
Good.
I'm saying
with the 49ers.
I know I hyped them up, but what I'm saying is this past week, because of how they were playing and they were undefeated, people had been talking about them potentially making the playoffs and 3 teams from the NFC East making the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. Because he was saying that the Cardinals aren't any good, but the Cardinals played 2 good teams who everybody considers are playoff teams. They played them tight and close, and then they beat the Cowboys. So they're not as bad as, people make them out to be.
Next week is a very trappable game, buddy. I would be worried.
Okay. We'll see. Let's look at another.
So you're not worried about the Bears next week?
You worried about the Bears?
I'm worried about what Sean Payton's going to do with Vance Joseph. That's what I'm worried on. I will be talking to Sean later, and we'll be discussing. I'm trying to get in his ear to get Vance Joseph out of that damn building.
Okay.
Well, you better talk to the Waltons, because once y'all lose to the Bears, all y'all need to be fired, including you.
Just like Josh Daniels should already.
Yeah, including the consultant, Jake the hot take, Jake the consultant. All right, let us know what you think about this
NFL teams. Hey, caution NFL teams! If you didn't already get it from the show, don't hire Jake. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Hot take Jake is because he gives some hot takes.
Guys.
Burn down the building. Hot.
Very smart. The Dolphins are looking very unstoppable right now, and the Lions look pretty good today.
Okay. So what's your point?
Yeah,
Lions, they look good. They look good against the Falcons.
I'm telling you, the
Falcons' offensive line was horrible, and Desmond Ridder looked like trash.
Hey, I will give you that. I will give you that.
Lions look hella good.
Miami to make the playoffs.
Falcons game next. I can't wait to talk about that one.
Okay, talk about it.
Let's do it.
I mean, the Falcons. They don't matter. Cantine's not a Falcons fan anymore. That's his second team.
Yeah, right. He still be hyping him.
He's still be hyping him.
He's still posting about him. You ain't converted him all the way yet.
He's converted all.
You can tell the heart's still there.
A little piece of his heart still has the Falcons in there.
His heart is still in Atlanta.
A little bit.
A little piece of his heart. See, he still got. That's been his team his whole career. His whole life. He got a smidge there.
Man.
Hey, so let's look at another upset.
Y'all talk about the Falcons game?
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a minute because I was going to bring this game up real quick. The Houston Texans upset the Jacksonville Jaguars 37-17. What another upset today. A lot of upsets, supposed bad teams beating good teams or playoff teams. What you got here, Canteen, on this one?
Man, Stroud Singletary look good, man. I have to give it to the whole Texas organization. They look good. I mean, I don't have words. I don't have words to say about this game, man. I'm in shock like everybody else is, bro.
What do you got, Omar? You got something for this game?
Yeah, Jacksonville. Their offense has stuttered, or sputtered rather, not stuttered, but or it's both.
Stuttered.
In the past couple weeks.
Man, that Broncos game's really got you all messed up.
I know. I'm still thinking about that. I still think the Jaguars are obviously the top team in that division. And this was a fluke win. Okay. The Texans got really lucky. They got a kickoff return by their fullback, Alec Beck.
Oh, yeah. That kickoff return threw me off.
That was crazy.
That was the craziest thing I ever saw. I was like, who is that big dude running?
Yeah,
and he just kept going. I was like,
yeah,
wow.
And at that point they had gone up by I think 14 or 18. And you saw Trevor Lawrence on the bench. He was like, "What the heck just happened?"
It was the craziest thing.
At that point, the game was done. And so I think it was a fluke win. I'm not
Okay.
worried about Jacksonville. I still think they rule that division. Good win for Houston as a young team, but I don't think that's going to help either team or hurt either team in any fashion from normal.
So do you think the Texans are still who we thought they were, and Jags are still who we thought they were?
Exactly. Yep.
What do you think, Jake?
You know, I got to put more on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think one of those idiots on that IOW podcast was trying to tell me the Jaguars could be a very well number 1 seed.
Hey, that is not the opinion of the bottom line, okay? That is a hot take, Jake opinion. We all love you, IOW Sports.
No.
That is not a bottom line.
I'm cool with all of them. The Jets fan. I haven't seen them. I know ever since that A-Rod got hurt, they ran away. I don't know what happened to that guy, but I haven't heard from him. The beardless wonder. Oh no, beardful wonder man. But he had told me the Jaguars were looking dangerous this year, and they could very well be the number 1 seed. And my point is, they're very inconsistent.
Who said that?
I think his name was Nick.
Nick. Oh yeah, okay. Nick.
Yeah, we have. Don't worry. I'm trying to get a milk carton. I'm looking for him. I'm gonna get a milk carton, and I'm gonna put him on the back because he's been missing since.
We're looking for Nick, Mar.
We're looking for Nick, Mar, because I see Mar and I see Mel every week when we talk. I haven't seen Nick since. But yeah, he had the Jaguars up, and this just goes back to the inconsistency. And I like Trevor Lawrence. I do. I think Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. But these are games you got to win. And
do you agree with Omar?
Me also of teams. I put this team in the same category with the Ravens and the Cowboys. You have a chance to show that you are next level, and you lose to terrible teams. The games you're supposed to win. They're the games you're supposed to win.
It's not good. They should have won these past 2 games. That is true. It's not good when you lose these games.
Okay. So is it a kind of a red flag?
No, Jacksonville's still the best team in that division. Still the best team in that division. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
No, it's a red flag.
The AFC South, Jacksonville is definitely top team. Okay.
I hate to say I agree with Jake a little bit, but I think that's a red flag a little bit. I mean, they scored 9 points against the Chiefs, even though they held the Chiefs to 17. Then the Colts,
and the Chiefs are the best defense in the league. So, I mean,
but the Jags are supposed to be a playoff team, so they should score more than 9 points. I don't know. And then they played close with the Colts, 31-21, and then they just lost in almost like a blowout. It was more than 2 scores, to the Houston Texans, who are supposed to be bottom of the barrel. I don't know. That's kind of a red flag to me. I don't know. The way Lawrence played, he had a subpar game, 279, 1 TD, 1 interception. I don't know. They just look subpar. It could be just an anomaly, like you said. Well, who knows? Just the way they played all season, I think, is the red flag. Not just this game, but I think the way they played all season so far, it feels like a red flag. We'll see what happens the next game. All right, any other games you guys want to hit? We're going to hit the Falcons and the Lions, and then if you want to hit any other games, you let me know. So the Falcons and the Lions.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is. I want to say one last note about that last game. There is one thing worse than a 2-touchdown blowout to the Houston Texans. Flo, do you know what that is?
There's something worse than losing by 20
do you know what that is? I'm not sure. Can you help me out?
50?
Broncos suck.
Get out of here, man. The Raiders play today. I can't wait to see the Raiders lose.
Broncos suck.
Left, right. Bronco country. Left, right. That's right.
All right. Anyways, all right. Yeah, and we got to predict the Raiders game because I got a Raiders victory 7. I'm not gonna tell my score yet, but let's go.
Okay, we'll predict that. So
get to that Falcons game.
The Falcons and the Lions. The Falcons, everybody was kind of talking about them, kind of like Washington. Hey, Falcons are a potential playoff team. They were 2-0 at the time. They basically get blown out by not a blowout, but they lost by 14 points, 2 touchdowns to the Detroit Lions. Detroit. I mean, what do you think? Who wants to hit this game first? Who wants to talk about this game first? Anybody? Okay, go Jake.
Go ahead, Jake.
Man, how tables have just turned from last week. Canteen's hyping them up, saying Ritter's great. They got the best running back in the league with Bijan Robinson, all this greatness, and they lose like that. I told y'all this, and I said this from the get-go. That's the best quarterback in the NFC, and he's proven it once again. He's 2-1, and he lost in overtime to a Seattle team that was hot last week. So I'm telling you right now, the Falcons are who we thought they were. They have a bad quarterback. They have no players whatsoever. I don't see any star players anywhere on that team. And I mean, they're going to keep losing continuously. Canteen, I'm sorry, Canteen.
I mean, his heart hurts a little bit for him, but I mean, they're still 2-1. It's not like they're toast.
They're done for.
Okay. What do you got, Ken? You were ready to say something.
Man, the Falcons got stars like Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. Kyle Pitts plays a decent game, but Drake London, I mean, those are all-star players. The Falcons don't have a great quarterback. They don't have a great quarterback. The quarterback, as I said before, Ritter is not an answer in Atlanta. And then Arthur Smith looked like piss poor, horrible today, play calling, and then our offensive line is garbage.
So,
those are the big points for Atlanta right now.
All right.
Offensive line is trash.
Okay. Before I let Omar go, let me ask you a question. So, if you say Ritter's not the answer, so should the Falcons just tank and try and get one of these QBs in the next? I mean, what should they do then if he's not the answer? What's the answer for them?
I mean, you try and for a few more games. I mean, they went and got Heineke. Too.
Yeah, but he's pretty much a backup. I mean, he was a subpar starter.
I mean, I don't think the Falcons need to go out and draft a new quarterback because they had all their hope and faith in a guy like Ritter. Ritter needs to be developed, man. This is the first year starting. But I don't like the play calling by Arthur Smith either.
Okay. What do you got, Omar?
Yeah. Thank you, Ken. You just set me up perfectly. Arthur Smith. I'm tired of Arthur Smith. I'm sorry. You came in, you had all these proclamations about your defense and how it was going to be great. And the defense can only do so much if your offense sucks. Bijan Robinson can only be so much as a runner. Desmond Ritter, I think, like I said, is going to be fine, but average. I just think they need a better coach. I don't think Arthur Smith is the one. I think if they had a better coach in place, they may be able to get the best out of Desmond Ritter. That being said, while the Falcons aren't going to the playoffs this year, I do believe the Lions are. I do believe Dan Campbell has them in a good spot. While I don't agree with Jake's 13 wins, I can still see 9, 10, 11 wins for the Lions, a playoff berth, and I do like the way that they play. I like their hard-nosed style of play. So.
Okay. I tend to agree. I think Falcons are still not a playoff team. I think they're borderline playoff team because they have a great run game. Obviously, Ritter, and we'll have to see what he is. I mean, this is his first year starting. I mean, we'll have to see if he improves game after game, right? He didn't throw any picks. He didn't throw any TDs either. But Bijan and Algier, I mean, they were okay, but they didn't have great games either. I mean, they only ran it 10 times and 7 times, so maybe they should have ran it more. It looks like they let Ritter throw it quite a bit. I don't know. I didn't see the game, so I don't know if maybe they just couldn't get on the field and maybe the Lions kept them off the field. That's what it looks like by the stats, that the Lions were able to keep them off the field and control the clock a little bit. Because they didn't
I watched. I don't mean to interject, but I just want to help you out. I watched most of that game, and they did. They were able to control the ball, but the thing is, you're completely right. The Falcons need to run the ball more. When you have Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier in your backfield, and you're not and Cordell Patterson is your number 3, who doesn't even get on the field, what are you doing right now? What are you doing? Yeah. Play to your strengths. Run the ball. Yeah. Let Desmond Ritter run the RPO and just play the game that you should play.
Right. That's what I thought, because I thought Ritter threw it 38 times. That was quite a bit. And then seeing Robinson only have 10 carries and 7 carries for Algier, I was like, what happened there?
But the problem is it's also not RPOs either. A lot of them are just straight dropbacks. A lot of them,
Right.
not a lot of them, but some of them are even under center. Like, what are you
Okay.
doing? This isn't the 2000s anymore.
Right. Okay. All right. So, any other games you want to talk about here? We got the Saints and the Packers. We had a close game. The Bills looked good against the Commanders, and then the Patriots pull it out against the lowly Jets. And then the Browns also pull out a big victory, a blowout over the Titans. So, which one do you guys want to hit?
Not a
let's-
damn one. The only one I want to say anything about is the
Okay.
Titans. Everybody's very upset, and other players, fantasy-wise, and other players around the NFL, people around the NFL are wondering why Derrick Henry did not get the ball, why Tajay Spears got the majority of the carries.
Right.
We don't have an exact answer yet as to what's going on. He was banged up earlier in the week. The reports were here in Nashville, but we don't have an exact answer as to why, because he was projected to at least have a half workload. So we're gonna have to find more about that, and I'll try to report more on that tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Shout out to my dad for telling me about Derrick Henry. He told me to bench him right before, and we just put a 200 piece on whoever we're playing in fantasy.
Wait a second.
Jake,
Jake, what mafia is your dad in, and what information they got? And can I get your bookie?
He told me to take out Derrick Henry before the game, and he said take him out. And I didn't put him in for fantasy, and we ended up whoppingly destroying 200.
Shout out to Jake's father, who is more Nashville insider than apparently I am. So shout out to Jake.
Apparently.
I don't know how he did it. He figured it. He told me. He said, I was at his 20th anniversary yesterday. He told me, hey, bro, Derrick Henry's playing the Browns. Take him off now. I said, okay.
Really? Wow.
Sure enough.
And he only had 11 attempts. So he wasn't completely hurt because they gave him the ball a few times. So maybe
they did. He didn't score nothing. He had 0.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. What about this game? Here, let's look at this game. This was a close game. Because my son-in-law said the Saints are going to the Super Bowl, but they just lost to the Packers. I saw them winning pretty easily. They were like 17-0, and then all of a sudden,
Carr got hurt, bro.
Won that game. What happened?
Carr got hurt.
Oh, okay.
Carr got
injured.
Oh, is that what happened? Carr got hurt?
That's
Carr got
exactly
injured.
what happened. The Saints were up 17-3, and Carr got hit, and he went down with the AC sprain, and they got carted off the field, and he never came back. And Jameis Winston is who we thought he is. Old crab-legged, eating mofo, trash as always.
He did all right. 10-16, 101 yards.
And let them come back and win the game. What do you mean? He did
well. I mean, shouldn't we put that on the defense?
I mean, could he at least lead him to a field goal? At least one. One field goal would have won the game.
I guess so. Yeah. So now, I mean, I guess are people going to start talking about the Packers as a playoff team? They're 2-1.
No.
You lost your mind.
No.
And you lost your mind, man.
I'm just asking the questions here. I'm asking the coach. I'm asking questions. Okay.
No is the answer.
No is the answer.
Hey, Green Bay gonna get smoked Thursday night. They got to play Detroit Thursday night, Jack.
Okay.
Smoke.
Playing the best quarterback in the NFC.
Hey, you know what?
Sean Watson looked pretty good today.
Jordan Love has played well, though. He has played well, but
he's been solid.
You got to.
He plays like a game manager, don't worry.
You got to prove it to me more. That's exactly right. You're right, Jake. He's a game manager.
Plays like a game manager.
That is what he is.
Plays
he's not going to be any more than that ever in his life.
Of course, Omar sees that, so like he plays pretty good because he's never seen that in Oakland or Las Vegas now.
Wow. I mean, you're right.
Wait a minute. But you know what? Have the Raiders ever lost or given up 70 points in a game?
I mean, not by 70. No.
Oh no. Okay.
Not by 70. No.
Okay. So they haven't been that bad.
They're going to lose today too.
Let's talk about that game.
Actually, can we get to that game? Because I got to go watch it.
Let's talk about that game. So tonight's Sunday Night Football, the Steelers and the Raiders. Both teams, I mean, to be honest, the Raiders haven't looked terrible, horrible like we thought they might have. They won a game, and the Steelers have been a little so-so and not as good as I thought they should look. I know you guys, I hyped them up more than you did, but let's see what we have for the Steelers. Let's see what we have. Let me just look and see here. Let's see. Steelers. Gee, where are they at? Okay.
I love unfolding the
So
news.
Canteen had them 8 games. Omar, you still had them winning 10 games. Jake had him winning 8 games, and then I had him winning 11. So let's talk about this game. What do you think? Does Garoppolo bounce back? Because he had a good game, and then he had a bad game last game. So let's. You want to go first, Omar? Or you want the guys to go first on this game, since this is your team?
No, you know what? I'll go first. I want to hear what everybody else has to say. For me, I don't think a bounce back game means anything. I think the Raiders win 17-16.
Oh, wow.
In an ugly, low-scoring football game. Jimmy G and Kenny Pickett both throw, 1, possibly 2 interceptions. The running games look ugly. It's going to be possession. It's not going to be anything that anybody should watch. So, leave me to myself and my own depression. Thank you.
Okay. So you want to twist the knife into you, Jake, or what do you want to do on this?
The Raiders suck. They will lose this game.
So you're going to twist the knife. Okay.
I'm guessing, of course, the Steelers, I've never been high on them either. I think they'll keep it close for that. Mike Tomlin, I think, is kind of an overrated coach. So I think they'll win 17-7. It'll be an ugly game. It'll be like 10-7 all game.
You still got them winning. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they'll still win, like I said. But we know what the Raiders are. This is Josh McDaniels last year, so it's his farewell tour.
Oh, God, I hope so, please.
So yeah, it's 17-7. What a terrible NBC! What a terrible show for us tonight.
What a terrible game!
Yeah,
what a terrible game!
I mean, who lined that up?
Yeah, you got to think about
that game up, man.
What are y'all doing? That's horrible.
What is this?
Yeah, that was a bad lineup. I don't know who thought that. Maybe what do you got, Ken? You got anything on this game tonight?
Man, I think Garoppolo gonna have a superb game tonight. I like Garoppolo with a superb game.
All right, let's go.
I'm gonna go Las Vegas by 7 tonight.
Oh, okay.
Vegas by 7. 21-14. Vegas by 7 at home. They're gonna show up. It's hard to beat them at home, man, in Vegas. With all the bookies and all the stuff like that, I like them at home, man.
I mean, I don't know what that means, but
I'm not so.
It's the bookies on their side.
I don't know what that means, but I agree.
I don't either.
What's that?
They got the bookies there. I don't know what that means.
Oh, the bookies, like all the people that do all the side bets.
What does that have to do with them winning?
No, I know what you mean, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but Pickett, I'm not sold on Pickett or Najee Harris. I think Pickett is injured or something like that. So I'm going with the Raiders at home by 7, man. 21-14.
Okay.
Gentlemen, my game has started. Can we hurry this up? No, I'm sorry. I love you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I thought you didn't care.
I mean, I still want to watch us lose.
Oh, okay.
I mean, win. Sorry.
Okay, right. So, I don't know. I feel like the Steelers have played tougher teams. They played San Francisco, like Cleveland, and they beat them, and Cleveland has a pretty good defense. The Raiders, they played Denver tight, so they just lost 70 by 70. So, I mean, that tells you something right there about the Raiders. So, I don't know, but they did beat them. So, and then Buffalo, they kind of got blown out by Buffalo, which was kind of expected. Oh man, I want to go with the Raiders. I feel like he's gonna have a bounce back game. Jimmy G, they're playing at home. I'm gonna go with the Steelers in the close one too, kind of an ugly close one. The Steelers win with something like 19-13, some kind of weird score like that. And I'm just gonna go with. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders pull this out. I think they look halfway decent so far, but I mean, it'd be tough for them to make the playoffs. But I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those where I'm pulling for you just because it's your team, but I feel like the Steelers are going to pull this game in an ugly game, but we'll see what happens.
I appreciate that because you are not paying me, and I am not paying you.
Exactly.
That being said, I do want to say one thing.
Okay.
About a game that we skipped.
Okay.
The Chiefs beat the brakes off of the Bears.
Right.
I have actually 2 things to say about this on both sides. On the Bears side, I am sick and tired of the Bears' mismanagement. Their organization, their coaches are horrible. You drafted Justin Fields for a reason, and he has a style of play which you are not committed to. If you are not designing at least 10 runs a game for that guy who ran for 1,100 yards last year, you are wrong. and the Bears coaches are wrong. When Justin Fields said last week that it was robotic the way he was playing, not only was he right, and not only did he mean it, but he should have stood 10 toes down with that joint and let them know y'all are the ones that are bringing me down, not me.
But you can't really, as a player, you can't really do that to the coaches, man. You can't.
Sure, you can't. But you know what? In this day and age, there's social media. There's all kinds of things you can do. Get a burner account.
Get a burner account.
Anyways.
Hey, but to be fair, he ran it 11 times this time. He did have 11 attempts, so he ran it a few times.
But and I will say this, I watched most of that game because it was on Fox, and it was local here. I had the rest of it on my phone and my laptop, but but most of those were runs out of pressure. They were not designed runs. They didn't have a designed run until the third quarter was their first designed run.
Okay.
That being said, on the other side, I have something to say. Travis Kelce, this is my warning to you, sir.
Uh-oh.
All right? This is my warning to you. You better lay your hands off of my woman. All right? Tay, I am sorry that this happened to us. I know that we haven't been anywhere yet, but we have been in love since Teardrops on My Guitar. Taylor Swift, I love you. Forget Travis Kelce. Forget that he don't deserve you. He gonna treat you like a jock. I'll take you out. Dinner, roses, shrimp, lobster.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Let's
wow.
go. I live in Nashville. I'm right down the street. Come holler at me on Broadway, Tay. You know I love you. All right.
Oh, wow. All right. So Travis Kelce moving in on Omar's chick. I thought the security girl was your chick in the building there, but I don't know. I thought she was
she's third. She's third. You know what, Taylor?
Oh, okay.
If Taylor doesn't come along, my original crush, Mariah Carey. I know you're not with Nick Cannon no more, so you good with him. Come on.
Okay. Shout out. Okay. There you
go.
go.
Canteen.
You
that was my boo.
First.
That was my boo when I was 10 years old. Canteen. Back in the 90s.
Right.
Hey, now, do you want to know the lady I like the most?
Who's that?
I got like two. Man, don't laugh at they both NFL analysts. I love them both to death. Laura, I love Laura Rutledge.
I know one.
Which
I know the other one. The redhead. What's her name? What's the redhead name? What's the redhead name?
No, it's
the
not
redhead.
Her. No,
the redhead.
I know who it is.
No, never mind.
It's Laura Rutledge and Rossini.
Rossini.
Yeah.
That's what I love Rossini, man. I love Rossini.
You have a crush.
Jake, who's your crush?
You want to mention?
Rossini pretty, man.
Who's my crush?
Yeah, the crush you had.
I know. I know your
my wife is watching. It's my wife.
Yeah, your wife is mine.
If she's not watching,
okay.
I love Tay also.
Yeah.
I followed all her music. She's the best singer of all time. She's the best female artist.
I mean, I'm not saying that. Michael Jackson.
Yeah, she is.
It's all good.
Who? Mariah Carey?
Different fight for a different day, Omar. But I will destroy that page.
Well, Michael Jackson. Yeah, okay. I agree with you.
Is that Tay? Is that Mariah?
No, that's Taylor Swift.
Oh, is that Taylor Swift? I don't know the verbiage.
Taylor Swift and Mariah Carey are two different people.
I know, but I didn't know
he didn't know the nickname.
Don't you have teenage daughters? Have you never been to a?
Well, I don't have them living in my house right now. So.
You don't have any Swifties?
The heck were you not listening to Taylor Swift since 2007?
Teardrops on My Guitar, my favorite track. I got an Evermore CD signed. I have another CD signed. Thank you, Taylor Swift. You know I love you. That was weird to admit live on TV. Yeah, sorry. I should not have admitted that live on TV. I apologize. That being said, everybody also, I got to go watch the Raiders game, but hey, everybody, I want you to go check out my page. We've got the new Bottom Line Sports intro song from your boy, the Street Professor.
Boy, the Street Professor. That's it,
I'm
man.
back.
It was good.
After
I liked
a 5-year layoff of not rhyming. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate you.
That's the NFL. Any final words? Hey, find us anywhere on the Bottom Line Sports on any platform. Twitter. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. Go look us up. The Bottom Line Sports. I'm Flo. The guy over there is Canteen. The guy down here is Jake. And the guy over there who loves Tay, that's Omar. This is the Bottom Line Sports NFL special. We'll see you next Sunday. Tomorrow we have a sports show
Hey,
regular
tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern. Y'all join us at the Bottom Line Sports
Central. We're going to talk about all sports today, which is nothing but NFL wrap-up, NFL heavy. And then tomorrow we'll hit probably Monday Night Football, and we're going to talk about some other stuff. Oh, all right. We'll see you next time on the
Hey, play that song. Play that song, Flo. Play that song.
You want it? Okay, I'll play the song. We'll do the outro. We're going to do Street Professor's song. Oh, man. I don't have it in here. Hang on. You got it? Hold on. I got it, man.
Street Professor.
Hang on. The Professor. I can load it. Give me a second.
You got it. Go ahead. Do your thing, man.
Huh?
Do your thing.
I'm trying. Hold on. All right. I'm going to load it up. I'm going to play our outro one more time while this loads up. So any final party words for the people out here?
Hey, at the Bottom Line Sports, join us on Facebook, y'all. We want you to join us for the conversation. We'll be having a great time.
All right. So I'm going to load up our outro. It's really the intro, the countdown. I'm going to play it for Omar. And we'll see you next time on the Bottom Line NFL special. Be out of here. We'll see you. If y'all want to hang out, I'm going to hang out here for a little bit if you want to. But if not, I'll see you next time, man.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. We'll see you there at the Bottom Line Sports. Here's the Sports Professor. We'll see you next time.
Sing it. Sing it.
Go mode, you know, Bottom Line Sports Show, Master Plan Flow, Canteen, and I take Jake O Show. One Professor knows when alley-oop jamming, 10 toes never fold out to win. The boys were better ran.
I need my hands. I just want to
Let's go, Street Pro, Bottom Line Flow, Canteen, Hot Take, Jake, and O. Sports Professor, you know, Street Professor back again, it's game time. A la playa, no playtime, it's play guy. Cause we ain't talking about practice like AI. Sports Professor spit the best takes out like AI. Artfully intelligent, I can't write mine. Rhyme citing with girls' DMs like Messi after the goal time. That was a triple entendre, did you catch me rambling? Flipping Simone Biles, we the Bottom Line champion.
I need my hands. I just want
Let's go, Street Pro, Bottom Line Flow, Canteen, Hot Take, Jake, and O. Sports Professor, you know, Yo, Street Professor, I'm back, baby, like I never left. Bottom Line Flow, Canteen, Hot Take, Jake, and O.